Hello, myself Sunil R Nair. Here basically we are discussing about something about the balancing. So in this basically we are discussing about the government and private sector. That basically we have already discussed. Now basically the reservation example. Reservation means for example one person is not getting job, so there might be the reservation issue, right? One person is getting the job, so that basically he might be having good contacts basically that connects to reservation. That's a simple basically formula basically. Government how divides the reservation basically. How basically government say that basically this percentage amount basically, for example in railway basically, which type of people basically are there more in railway? In government basically most of basically people are of north side, right? Reason, they say that basically the north side basically are very powerful basically, so we have taken them as a reservation in the government sector. There might be some reason basically of the reservation. So most of basically in the government side basically north people basically are there. Their mathematics is good, their science are basically good, they are basically good into educational side. Like this lots of people basically say. So government say that basically A plus B equal to C, C plus D. This D basically the north people basically do perfectly. Like this lots of things basically are there. In reservation basically lots of people say that basically that example I have given, 5 crore people basically got generated as a human clone. Their reservation who are going to take that is converted into one caste, so that is one caste, right? So that caste reservation who is going to take care? That is the project manager basically who is allocated, so he is going to take care of the reservation basically. Like this basically in this world, in India basically there are many castes created for certain level of task basically. Why this 5 crore is created, that basically we have already taken into picture. So like this basically many castes basically are created for the purpose of universe basically. As per the time basically they gets the certain level of data basically. So like this is also about the reservation basically. Now basically it's earthquakes data. Earthquakes data basically we are already discussing basically in front of the world basically, that is tectonic plates. But in real basically it's not tectonic plates. In real basically it's the energy basically which is sent by the power company and the energy company and the nuclear power company. That basically simple funda is basically there. 110 crore matrix basically is defined in the environment, and this basically needs the balancing basically, and that balancing basically the environment people only basically they do. For example, Microsoft basically say that we can give we basically can give the government. For example, balancing basically comes into many sectors basically. For example, Microsoft basically have their own product also basically. Own product means when they do the matrix to this type of matrix, then basically they generate vegetables. Then they do that type of matrix, then basically they generate apples. So like this basically things basically are there basically. So like this the earthquake data are also basically connected here basically. 110 crore people 110 110 crore matrix basically are there in the environment. So fluctuation always happen basically. So minimum in Vadodara city every second fluctuation happen, but that basically never able to track. Why? Because you can't track it. You are moving in the vehicle, earthquake is happening, but you can't track it. Why? Because your blood cells basically has created like that way basically, that you will never able to track that basically the earthquake is happening basically. Same way in Mumbai basically, always every millisecond basically the earthquake is happening, but that can't be tracked because your blood cells basically say that your creation is like that basically, that you will never able to feel that earthquake basically. You will never able to feel the earthquake basically. You will never able to feel the earthquake. Like this basically the earthquake data are basically balanced. few country basically say that yeah, here basically the earthquake happens too much basically, because their balancing basically is not perfect basically. Whenever the basically the data are sent to the environment, there basically balancing doesn't happen properly basically. So that might be a problem that the city basically which is created on the base of certain data basically, that uh, that data basically might not be matching that matrix basically. For example, in Bangalore city, 1500 city basically are the 1500 buildings are there. According to that, Microsoft basically created few balancing matrix basically, that is balancing the building basically. It's not moving left and right basically. Why? Because they have the data basically. So the country basically who always gets the earthquakes, so this is the only reason basically, they might not be getting the perfect balancing data basically. So that basically is the reason basically. Most of basically this is the only reason basically. There might be other reason, but because once the city is created, you can't do anything basically. So whenever you create the city basically, that time basically you have to do each and every setting basically. Now basically weight of the earth planet basically. Weight of the earth planet, earth planet is moving, assume that earth planet is moving down to me where basically I am sitting. So when earth planet is moving down basically, it really basically it's not moving. It might be moving anywhere basically. We can't say that because we are in earth planet. So how basically we can say? So only satellite group can say basically where actually the earth planet is moving. So earth planet and the plane group basically, who are basically into the plane, they know basically that where actually the earth planet is moving, because they are in the plane basically, and they have to drive the plane basically. So according to that basically they know the where basically the earth planet is moving. So like this, the balancing basically happens of the each and every side with top, left, bottom, and right, and each and every side of the earth planet, because earth planet is moving. It's a one sand na, basically. Earth planet is set of sand basically, which has joined with set of energy basically. On the base of the earth planet is basically moving, and that contains lots of buildings, lots of swimming sea, lots of human basically are staying, 900 crore people, 900 crore people's energy basically, and their human needs basically are moving here. So it's not easy also na, to move the earth planet basically. So here basically they do the balancing, the creation basically happens, they create sometimes cities, the sometime basically the city get destroyed basically, like according to the destroyed basically you have to do the balancing that this city has destroyed, so you have to do something basically. So like this basically things basically are there basically. So this was about balancing basically. Now basically again we go back to currencies basically. Again we go back to the currencies. So this topic was of the balancing basically. That most of balancing part basically we have already discussed basically. Now basically again this was also one of the idea basically you can say. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about the dependencies of currencies and currencies dependency, that also you can say.